This is a tutorial for users of the Rave Reviews platform. In this tutorial, we'll go over some basics of the platform as well as a few tips and tricks and some frequently asked questions. So let's say you're at your practice and your patient is done with their cleaning or their minor procedure and they've walked up to the front desk to check out for the day. We are going to use our good friend Dr. Larry as an example. If the patient is standing there at the front desk and checking out at Dr. Larry's office, the front desk person could say to them, "Hey, we have this really great new review system. We would love to know what you think about our practice. Would you be willing to give us your email or cell phone number so that we could send you a link so that you can then leave a review for us online?" And the patient says, "Yeah, sure." Now, the only thing the person at the front desk needs is this link. This is Dr. Larry's link. They can bookmark this on any computer, any tablet, anywhere they would like to. And that's why we actually have phrased this so it's patient facing, in case they would put it on a tablet and they'd like to simply hand the patient the tablet to fill in their information themselves. We'll fill in the email address and the first name. We don't really need the last name unless you're rather formal with your patients. Or if they would rather get a cell phone message, you click SMS to switch it over to cell phone. Fill in the number there and their first name, and when you hit send me a request, within about 4 seconds or so, the patient is going to get a text message. And the text is going to be from a local area code number. Dr. Larry is here in our area code, so that's why he's a 570 number. But I will be choosing a number for your individual location that's local to you, because if someone got a text message from a completely random area code that they've never seen before, they may think that it's spam and they may not participate. This way, it's from a number local to you. And the text will say, "Hi, so-and-so. Thank you for choosing our practice. Would you take a moment to write a review?" And underneath that, it'll have the practice's logo. When they click on the logo, it's going to open a screen that looks like this. This white part. And on a mobile device, it actually looks like this. And you'll see it says, "Please take a moment to review your experience with us. Your feedback not only helps us, it helps other potential customers." Now, if your patient hovers over the stars, you can see that they light up so that they can give you a review on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being bad and 5 being super great. Let's say your patients absolutely love you, and that patient in particular would like to leave you a review that is 4 or 5 stars. When they click on the 4th or the 5th star, it will open up a window like this, saying, "Please take a moment to share your experience with us on one of these review sites." Now, this is where we've taken all of the guesswork out of the process. I've gone through in the background and found all the different places online where there are reviews about Dr. Larry, and these can be switched in and out at any time. And I picked the top 3. We usually only pick 3 or 4 so that we don't give the patients too many choices and confuse them. Now, I've also gone through and checked all of these links to make sure that these are in fact the accurate links for leaving a review for Dr. Larry. There's no rogue listings here. There's none of those false Facebook page holder links here. These are the correct links to leave a review for Dr. Larry. So, if I was a patient and I said, "All right, I'll leave a review on Google." When they click on Google, a box will pop up reminding them that they have to have a Google account to leave a Google review. And when they click on the Review Us button, it takes them directly to Dr. Larry's proper Google page and even opens up the review window for them in order to leave a review. There's no more writing down a bad link or trying to explain to a patient how to get there. We've taken all of that out of the equation. Same thing with Facebook. It reminds the patient to like the business page and reminds them that they must be logged in order to leave a proper Facebook review, and takes them directly to Dr. Larry's Facebook page. In his case, he has chosen Yelp. Yelp is more popular in this particular area than, say, Yellow Pages, but these can always be switched in and out. And again, you click on Yelp, it'll instruct you how to leave a Yelp review. and take you directly to the Yelp page. Now let's say the patient is having a bad day and they don't want to leave a favorable review for whatever reason it may be. And they hover over these stars and they try to leave you a review that is 3 stars or below. If a patient clicks on 3, 2, or 1 star only, instead of opening up that link that would allow them to choose their social media network and potentially leave a bad review on social media that can never ever be taken down, instead we've stopped them at this point and we've opened up a line of communication between that patient and your office. So this way, the patient can tell you what they feel has gone wrong, which very well may be just a miscommunication or taking something the wrong way, or something as silly as they had to wait a whole 5 minutes in the waiting room before they got to see you. You never know. And in this case, the person would fill in their information and their message to your office, and when they click send message, we can set this to send an email to anyone in your office that you'd like, multiple people or one singular person, so that you can get in communication with the patient and try to make amends for what they perceive as a bad situation. Let's say that the patient would like to receive an email rather than a text message. It works in a very similar process. Instead of immediately getting a text message, they are going to immediately get an email. And the email is going to say, "Hi so-and-so, thank you for choosing our practice. I'd like to personally invite you to share your experience." You can see it's very similarly phrased to the text message. It has a blue button within the email, and when they click on the blue button, it takes them to the screen with the logo and the stars on it, and they can then proceed to leave their review. The email option also triggers what's referred to as a drip campaign, and that simply means a slow, steady drip to keep you fresh in the mind of your patient. So, if this patient has not responded to the email within 3 days, they get another email just following up. "I'm just following up to review and see if you'd had a chance to complete a review of our practice. It means a lot to us." And again, if they click on the blue button, it takes them through to the screen with the logo and the stars. If a week has gone by and they still have not responded to any of these emails, they will get one more that says, "Hey, just following up. I really want to know what you think about our practice. It helps our potential customers." And again, if they click on the blue box, it takes them through to the screen with the logo and the stars. Patients can unsubscribe from these emails at any time using a link at the bottom of each email. And these email templates can be personalized. If you click on this pencil when you're here in the back end of the portal, it will open up each templated email, and you can adjust this to make it sound a little bit more like you. If you'd like, you could put in some Spanish or y'all or whatever you might want to put in here. You can also personalize the text message, but there's only so many ways that you can really say this in a very condensed manner. So we do encourage you to leave that alone, but if you would like to personalize it, you can click on the pencil right there. With the emails, if you do feel that 3 emails is a little bit of overkill, you are welcome to remove the last one and simply have 2. If you have questions further on that, please let me know. And another thing with the emails, on the off chance that a patient doesn't actually read the email and follow the directions, not that that would ever happen, but in the off chance that they would simply read this email, click reply and say, "Hey, you guys are great, keep up the good work," and send it. The email will still get to the office. In this case, it's Dr. Larry's email. That way, at least you know that the patient has responded to the review. They didn't do it in the manner that we wanted them to, but they did respond to the review. So now at this point, you can either follow up with the patient and ask them to proceed the way that we were looking for them to do this, or you can simply keep that review in your pocket. As those reviews start coming in, you'll be able to see them here in the review screen. And not only are we pulling in the reviews that are being placed through the Rave Review system, Rave Reviews also includes review monitoring throughout the internet. So all of those different sources that I discovered and checked on when I was setting up this account are all being monitored, and those reviews are being pulled into one screen. The reason that we're pulling all of them into one screen is, one, so you can see them all in one place, and two, to make it easier for you to respond to reviews. We do encourage you to respond to reviews, good or bad. Good, so that the patient knows that you have at least read it and you're acknowledging that you appreciate them taking the time to leave you a review. And if there would be a bad review, which would not happen with the Rave Review system, but if a bad review happened organically, as in someone getting to Facebook by their own means and leaving a poor review, you do still want to respond to that review in order to let them know, again, that you do hear them. If you do need help or advice in phrasing a response to a bad review, please let us know, because you need to be very careful with what you say. So if I was looking at this screen and I saw this review on Google and I would like to respond to it, if I was signed in as Dr. Larry and clicked on respond, it would take me directly to the review screen and even open up the window to leave a response. The other thing that we can do is we can share reviews from any other source to Facebook. So even if it's a Health Grades review or Vitals or Dr. Oogle, as long as it's appearing here in this feed, if you click share, we can share that review to the Facebook page. It'll copy the entire body of the text, including the stars, and that post can actually be scheduled to a specific time if you'd like to share on Facebook, getting you a little bit more mileage out of a really good review. One other thing that we can do is we can embed a review stream onto your website if we do have administrative access to the nuts and bolts of your website. It would look just like this, with the border and the wording and the stars and the link taking people directly to the review. This is the embeddable code that I would use to embed that review stream onto your website. If this is something that you'd be interested in, just let us know. If we do not have administrative access to the back end, the nuts and bolts of your website, let us know and we can provide this information to your IT team with instructions on how to embed it. Now, those message alerts that would go out if someone attempted to leave a bad review and they needed to describe the situation, those can go to absolutely anyone in the office. You can see in Dr. Larry's case, he has several people on there to make sure that things are being dealt with appropriately. These people who receive the alerts will also receive a daily summary alert of the reviews that have been placed on the previous day. Those usually come in first thing in the morning, and they also include any other reviews that may have been discovered, even if they're older, from other sources through our review monitoring system. Once you have invited someone to leave a review for your practice, you can see who has responded or not within the invites screen. If I look at recipients inactive, I can see all of the people who have received the text messages or the emails with the links to leave a review. Think of the inactive folder like your sent items in your email, because in this folder, if for some reason someone deleted the text message or deleted the email by accident, you can resend them simply by clicking this check mark. It will reactivate the text or the email instantly and start the process over again for the patient. One thing that we can also see with emails, but not with texts, is we can see who has opened the emails, who has clicked upon the emails and passed through to leave a review, and who has unsubscribed from the email. In this case, if they've unsubscribed, then they are not interested in leaving a review and we won't bother them anymore. But in this case, where a person's email has bounced, perhaps we took down their email address incorrectly or their email inbox was full, And the next time they come in for their appointment, we can ask them about it and either resend them the original emails or take down a different email address for them. Now you may be asking, why are we asking our patients for their email or their cell phone number when I already have that in our patient management system? The reason that we are doing that is to keep it personal. By looking a patient in the eye and asking them to leave you a review of your practice because you genuinely want to know what they think, rather than sending out a randomized email a day, a week, a month after their appointment that they don't know is coming. By making it personal, we are seeing a tremendous response rate. In some cases, an 80% response rate, just by simply asking the person to leave a review. Now, since we are on the topic, you might ask, how does this differ from Solution Reach or Demand Force or the emails that I'm sending out of my current patient management software? Well, the difference is 75% of patients who receive a Solution Reach or a Demand Force email asking them to leave a review about the practice, those 75% leave a review that only stays within the Solution Reach software itself. So in that case, it's not going anywhere. So people aren't really seeing that review unless they're looking directly at a stream in your website. But it is not getting pushed to social media. And if it is pushed to your Facebook page, it is pushed as a post. So it does not count as a Facebook review, which may reflect in your Google relevancy. In our case, with Rave Reviews, all of our reviews are pushed directly to social media, so they get the most exposure possible. And in some cases with softwares like Solution Reach or Demand Force, if you would terminate your services with their company, your reviews may go with it, and you will not have those reviews ever again. In our case, these reviews are yours forever because they are permanently on social media and not trapped within a separate software. Now, what if you have multiple locations for your practice? In that case, there are actually two different options. The first option involves using one link for all of your practices, as in you are inviting the patients to leave a review and then you are letting them choose which location they would like to review once they get the link. In this case, all of your invites and your responses would go under one master file. This would be good for practices where people might go for one procedure at this location, another procedure at this location, rather than simply being in the most geographically convenient location for the patient. Another option is for each location to have its own separate link, treating each location as its own individual entity. You'll see in this case it's Northcutt's Mobile practice. I recommend this method more than the other because in this case you can trace how many invitations have gone out from each individual practice, whereas with the multiple practice from one link, all of those invites go into one bucket and you can't differentiate which practice has sent them out. For managerial purposes, if you are keeping an eye on your staffs at each practice, this is an easier method to use to differentiate between the invites sent from practice A, practice B, practice C, to see which staff members are doing really well and which staff members may need a little bit more help. There is one final screen in the dashboard to show you, and this is more for my end, but I am going to show you anyway. This is the widgets screen. Within this screen is different coding that can be used in conjunction with your Rave Reviews software, including creating a landing page on your website to take people directly to the page with the logo and the stars. This is the coding that I would use to do that. If you'd like to use a QR code to take people directly to that screen as well, this is what we would use on a print piece. We can also embed a Review Us button within your website itself if we have administrative access to the back end of your website. This is the coding I would use for that. And also, you may have seen in emails from staff members at Golden Proportions something similar to this in the bottom of our email. If you simply copy and paste this entire graphic into your email signature, whether it be on Outlook or Gmail or what have you, people can respond and leave a review in the exact same way that they would do on the screen with the logo and the stars. As in, if I wanted to leave a 4-star review for Dr. Larry, all I would have to do is click on the 4th star and it will take me directly to the screen that allows me to choose the social media platform of my choice. If you do have questions on how this works, please do ask. There are a couple of other areas within the dashboard that are for my setup purposes only, but if you are curious and would like to know how any of the other functions work, simply ask and I will certainly let you know how everything works behind the scenes. On the off chance that your staff members lose the link that they would be bookmarking on their computers and tablets to ask people to leave the review, it is always kept within the invites screen, invite and opt-in forms, and it is the form on the right. If you click on this link, it will open it in a separate window. There is a secondary form there for bulk uploading a number of different emails into the system, perhaps at the end of the day or at the end of the week. We do not recommend using that method. Again, we are trying to keep this as personal as possible and asking the patients while they are standing in front of you. But on the off chance that you would need to use this method for whatever reason, it is available to you. But again, 99% of the time you would use this link. So that is essentially the Rave Reviews system in a nutshell. If you are sitting at the front desk or perhaps in an operatory with the patients and you are asking them to please leave us a review because you want to know what they think about the practice, all you need is this link that can be bookmarked on any computer or tablet, and you would be taking down their email address or their cell phone number and their first name in order to send them a link that does all the work for them, taking them to a screen like this where they would then leave their review. This dashboard behind the scenes can have as many administrators as you would like, but I do recommend only 1 or 2 people really need to be back here in order to personalize the emails, respond to reviews, or perhaps resend a text message or an email to someone who has accidentally deleted the link. This is not an everyday check-in. This is a maybe once a week checking in here and watching things behind the scenes. If you have any other questions, please let us know.